35.4 million NRIs sent 135 billion back to India last year alone. 60 to 80% of NRIs living in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and Singapore are planning to retire in India. But here's what nobody tells them. India can either become the most peaceful retirement you have ever imagined, or it can silently drain every single dollar you saved over decades. See, on paper, retiring in India sounds perfect. Low cost, family nearby, familiar food, familiar culture, but in reality, healthcare inflation runs at 10 to 12% every year. One wrong bank account decision can make your interest taxable for life. Currency depreciation has already eaten away 2 years of your purchasing power without even noticing. And the dream property you buy moment you land, it might actually lock your money so tight you can't move cities even if you hate the neighborhood. The worst part? Nobody explains all of this clearly in one place until now. In this video, I'm giving you a complete financial roadmap for NRIs who want to retire in India. Whether you plan to return in 5 years, 10 years, or already have returned and feel financially confused, this video can save you years of costly mistakes that most NRIs do. Because retiring in India, it's not about just coming back home emotionally, it's about coming back prepared. I would really encourage you to watch this till the end because I'll also show you where most NRIs lose money after returning, even when they think they've planned everything right. By the way, I'm Nikhil. I'm a chartered accountant by profession with nearly 2 decades of experience with EY, PwC, and one of India's top wealth management firm before launching my own startup. And this is FinNiki, where I simplify money the same way I practice it. So let's get into the step-by-step plan. Step 1, decide your retirement lifestyle. Before we talk about crores, calculations, or investments, you need to answer one uncomfortable but critical question. How do you actually want to live after retirement? Most NRIs skip this step. They assume India is cheap, so things will just work out. But India's cost of living varies dramatically based on where you live and how you live. Think about it. Do you want to live in a tier 1 city like Mumbai, Bangalore, or Delhi? Or would a tier 2 city like Indore, Coimbatore, or Jaipur suit you better? Do you want to own a house or rent it? Will you rely on private healthcare or strong insurance? Will your retirement be quiet and simple or filled with travel? Here's a reality check. In India today, a decent retirement lifestyle in a tier 1 city costs roughly around 1.5 to 2 lakhs rupees per month. In tier 2 cities, that drops to around 70,000 to a lakh. And in a smaller town, 50,000 to 60,000 may be really enough. Same country, completely different retirement cost. India is affordable only when your lifestyle matches your location. Step 2, calculate your retirement corpus with India-specific math. Once you're clear about the kind of lifestyle you want, only then should you start calculating your retirement corpus. This order matters because one of the biggest mistakes NRIs make is jumping straight to the number while completely ignoring the Indian realities. Many people simply take US or Middle East retirement formulas and apply them to India, assuming cost will be lower and things will somehow work out. Unfortunately, that assumption often backfires. And here's why. Compared to West, India has a very different inflation structure. Everyday lifestyle inflation in India is around 6 to 7%. That means your monthly expenses almost doubles every 10 to 12 years. Medical inflation is even more dangerous. Healthcare costs in India rises at 10 to 12% or more, especially as you age and start relying on private hospitals. On top of this, post-retirement investment returns should be always assumed conservatively. After retirement, your priority shifts from aggressive growth to stability and regular income, and more importantly, capital protection. This naturally lowers expected returns. So, how do you calculate your corpus? Keep it simple. A commonly used thumb rule is this. Multiply your annual expenses by 25 to 30. This gives you a range that provides a reasonable buffer against inflation, healthcare shocks, and market volatility. Let me give you some concrete numbers. For a comfortable Tier 1 city retirement, you're looking at a corpus of around 8 to 10 crores. For Tier 2 cities, that number comes down to 5 to 6 crores. Now, if these numbers feels overwhelming, let me show you how achievable they actually are. If you just invest 50,000 rupees per month for 20 years at 12% return, you will end up with approximately 4.5 crores. That's enough for a comfortable Tier 2 retirement. Bump that up to 78,000 per month for 15 years and you will hit the 5 crore mark. The math is simple, the discipline is the hardest part. Now it's important to understand what this corpus actually represents and what it doesn't. This is not meant for luxury upgrades, frequent international travel, or risky business ventures after retirement. It's meant to give you dignity, independence, and peace of mind. And honestly, that's far more valuable. When your basic lifestyle and healthcare needs are comfortably covered, retirement stops being stressful and starts feeling truly peaceful. But for NRIs, peace doesn't depend only on expense, it also depends on the currency you earn in and the currency you spend in. Step 3, understand the currency risk. And this is where many NRI retirement plans goes quietly wrong. Most NRIs grow up believing one simple idea: as long as the dollar keeps getting stronger against the rupee, retirement in India will automatically be easy. And for a long time, that belief even seems true. Today, you earn in dollars, dirhams, or pounds. But once you retire in India, almost every expenses, from groceries to hospitals to house help, everything will be in rupees. When $1 converts to 90 rupees, it creates a powerful psychological comfort. Savings suddenly look larger, India feels inexpensive. But here's the trap. The problem begins when exchange rate thinking replaces purchasing power thinking. What matters is not how many rupees you get for $1. What matters is how much life those rupees can actually buy you over the next 20 to 30 years. Here's a stat that should wake you up. Due to the gap between rupee depreciation and Indian inflation, NRIs have actually effectively lost 2 years of their purchasing power. The rupee falling makes dollars look bigger, but inflation inside India is eating away what those rupees can actually buy. You feel richer on paper while becoming poorer in reality. Indian lifestyle inflation runs at 6 to 7%. Healthcare inflation often crosses 10 to 12% and even 14% in certain cases. This means that even if the rupee continues to depreciate, the real buying power in India keeps shrinking every year. There's another hidden risk: timing. Most NRIs convert large amounts emotionally. They buy properties the moment they shift back. They make big transfers during times of global uncertainty. What they don't realize is that buying a property locks the money in. They can't move to another locality or city if they don't like it. And unlike investment, currency gives you no second chance to average out mistakes. Smart NRIs don't treat dollar to rupee conversion as a one-time win. They treat it as a long-term risk to be managed. They actually keep part of their corpus in global assets. They shift money gradually based on actual expenses. They diversify across currencies. Remember, in retirement, safety doesn't come from chasing exchange rates, it comes from resilience. We have covered lifestyle, corpus, and currency. And if this has already helped you rethink your return plan, hit the like and subscribe. It genuinely helps me keep this going. Because what we are about to discuss next is where even financially smart NRIs make irreversible mistakes. Step 4, NRI, NRO, and FCNR accounts. Account structuring is one of the most underestimated areas where NRIs unknowingly lose money for life. One of the biggest mistakes NRIs make is converting all their NRI or FCNR accounts into resident accounts immediately after returning to India. This is often done emotionally without understanding the long-term tax impact. Let me simplify this for you. An NRI account is meant for income earned abroad. The biggest advantage: interest earned is completely tax-free in India, and both principal and interest are fully repatriable as long as you qualify as an NRI. This account is extremely efficient for parking foreign earnings and savings. The NRO account, on the other hand, is meant for incomes earned in India like rents, dividends and pensions. Interest earned on NRI account is taxable in India. Repatriation comes with limits and paperwork. Mixing these two without understanding the rules often leads to unnecessary taxes. FCNR deposits adds another layer of smart planning. When used before returning to India, FCNRs allow you to keep money in foreign currency while earning interest. This protects you from sudden currency swings and helps you plan conversion more strategically. Here's the key insight. Transition planning matters far more than exact return date. A poorly timed conversion can turn tax-free interest into taxable income for decades. One wrong account decision does not just affect 1 year, it quietly increases your tax burden for life. My advice? Don't transfer all your money into a resident account immediately. Take your time, spend 1 to 2 years in India. Once you're comfortable, understand the nitty-gritties, then open a resident account and transfer your funds. Money decisions should not be rushed because in retirement planning, the biggest mistake don't come from bad investments, they actually come from bad timing. Step 5. Investment strategies before and after returning. Your investment strategy should start changing before your passport status changes, not after. Before returning to India, it usually makes sense to keep a good portion of your money in global equity markets and dollar-based assets. These investments provide diversification, protect from rupee risk, and often come with lower Indian tax complications while you're still an NRI. Once you return to India, the focus should slowly shift. Indian equity can play a bigger role for long-term growth. Stable debt options like RBI bonds, fixed income instruments, and later senior citizen schemes help bring predictability to your income. A useful framework for accumulation phase, especially if you are between your 30s and 50s, is the 60-30-10 portfolio. 60% in equity for growth, 30% in debt for stability, and 10% in alternatives like gold or international assets for diversification. This shift should be gradual, not sudden. And what you should clearly avoid is ULIPs, traditional insurance plans sold as investments, and high commission products that lock your money for a long time with reduced flexibility. A good retirement portfolio evolves smoothly over time. It should never feel like a sudden financial shock, but there's one asset that has the power to turn even a well-planned retirement upside down: property. Step 6. Property, emotional asset versus financial reality. Property is an emotional topic for most NRIs, but financially, it's often inefficient for retirement planning. If you buy a property before moving to India thinking you can rent it out and earn good returns, you're likely wrong. Rental yields in India are usually just 2 to 3%, and that comes with additional maintenance costs, legal issues, and societal management expenses, which can run about 5 to 10% of your property value annually. Property also freezes your money in one place, making it risky during emergencies. There's another important change you need to know about. The July 2024 Union Budget eliminated indexation benefits for real estate. Earlier, you could adjust your property's purchase price for inflation when calculating capital gains tax. That benefit is now gone. This makes real estate significantly less efficient as an investment compared to before. A smarter approach: live in a rented space for first 2 to 3 years after returning. Understand the city. Check your location's proximity to healthcare. See how traffic and air quality affect your daily life. Only then consider buying a home. If you choose the wrong city, the wrong area, or the wrong society, you can't just exit and move easily. Remember, retirement is about flexibility, not about locking a large portion of your wealth into one single illiquid asset. Step 7. Healthcare and insurance planning. Now let's talk about an area where India offers remarkable value compared to the West: healthcare services. On a pure cost basis, India's healthcare system is one of the biggest advantage for retiring NRIs. A major surgery that cost 40 to 50,000 or $60,000 in the US costs just 3 to 6 lakhs in India in a good private hospital. A heart bypass surgery that may cost about $100,000 or more abroad can typically be done in India for 10 lakhs or so. Even routine expenses show a stark difference. An MRI that costs around $1,000 to $1,500 in the US may just cost around 10,000 rupees in India. A specialist consultation that costs around $200 to $300 abroad often costs just around 800 to 1,500 rupees here. This cost advantage is real, and this is one of the strongest reasons why many NRIs feel confident about retiring in India. But here's the catch. Healthcare may be cheaper, but it is not cheap if you are not prepared. The smartest move is to plan healthcare before returning to India. Buy a strong base health insurance policy early. Add a super top-up to handle large hospital bills, and keep a separate 10 to 15 lakhs medical emergency fund for situation insurance may not sometimes cover. Never assume you will figure it out later. In healthcare, later is always more expensive and often comes without choices. Step 8. Taxes. Now that you have covered what it costs to live comfortably in India, let's understand how to structure your finances to maintain that lifestyle all your life with minimal tax burden. When you return to India after years abroad, you may qualify as an RNOR, which stands for Resident but Not Ordinary Resident, for a limited period, usually 1 to 3 years depending on your past stay in India. Think of RNOR as a transition phase between being an NRI and becoming a full resident. During this period, your foreign income and overseas assets are largely not taxable in India. This window is extremely valuable. It gives you time to restructure investments calmly instead of rushing decisions. One wrong move, like selling assets unnecessarily or converting accounts blindly during this phase, can permanently lock you into a higher tax structure. Let me share a practical approach to generate income in retirement with minimum tax leakage. Suppose you retire with a corpus of 6 crores. You could keep 2 to 2.5 crores in safe instruments like RBI bonds, FDs, or other debt instruments that give you stable income to cover expenses. The remaining 3.5 to 4 crores goes into equity-oriented mutual funds for long-term growth. Instead of withdrawing lump sums, you could use a systematic withdrawal plan or SWP to generate a monthly income of 1.5 to 2 lakhs. The remaining money stays invested and continues to grow. Here's a tax efficiency. Under the new tax regime, interest income from FDs or other debt instruments is effectively tax-free up to 12 lakhs of total income. Many retirees can structure their cash flow with very little or no tax. On the mutual fund side, withdrawals are not fully taxed. Only the capital gains portion is taxable. And here's an important update from the 2024 budget. Long-term capital gains on equities are now taxed at 12.5%. But there's also an exemption of 1.25 lakhs per financial year. This means if you plan your SWP smartly, you can withdraw significant amounts while keeping your tax bill minimal. To put this into perspective, a $3,000 monthly lifestyle in US often translate to a 2 to 2.5 lakhs similar lifestyle in India with similar comfort, house help, and healthcare access. With proper structuring, this income can be generated sustainably from a well-planned corpus without eroding wealth too quickly with higher taxes. This is why tax and withdrawal planning, especially during the RNOR phase, is not optional. It's the foundation of a stress-free retirement in India. Step 9. Gift City. Now let me tell you about something that could save you crores in taxes over your retirement, and most NRIs have not even heard of it. Gift City. Gift City is India's first international financial services center, and here's why it matters for your retirement planning. Investments made through Gift City enjoy zero capital gains tax. Let me repeat that, zero taxes. For an NRI building a long-term retirement corpus, this is massive. Over 20 years period, that tax savings can add up to 2 to 3 crores rupees compared to investing through regular Indian routes. Now, this doesn't mean you should put all your money into Gift City, but allocating around 10 to 20% of your portfolio in Gift City can create a powerful tax efficient growth engine within your overall retirement portfolio. This is relatively a new opportunity and the rules are still evolving, but for NRIs serious about optimizing their retirement wealth, Gift City deserves a place in your planning conversation. Before I give you my final framework, let me address some common mistakes NRIs make before moving to India, so you can be mindful and avoid them. First, overestimating how cheap India really is. While daily expenses may feel lower initially, lifestyle inflation, private healthcare, and rising urban costs quickly close those gaps. Second, buying property too early, often driven by emotion rather than clarity. Locking a large portion of your corpus into an illiquid asset before fully settling into a city can restrict flexibility later. Third, transferring all money to India at once. This exposes you to poor currency timing and unnecessary tax consequences. Fourth, ignoring healthcare buffers. Medical costs don't rise gradually, they are spike during emergencies. Fifth, blindly trusting relatives with financial decisions. Even when intentions are good, outcomes can actually backfire. And finally, forgetting spouse survivorship planning. Assuming things will work out is not a plan. Retirement is about preparing for boring but unavoidable realities. Now, if you want to take away only one thing from this video, remember this simple framework. 1. Decide your lifestyle and city first. 2. Calculate a realistic retirement corpus using the 25 to 30 times annual expense rule. 3. Manage currency risk intelligently. Don't convert everything at once. 4. Transition investments gradually. Use frameworks like the 60-30-10 rule during accumulation and shift to stability as you approach retirement. 5. Return financially before you return emotionally. Use your RNOR window wisely. See, for some, retire in India can be peaceful. For the others, painfully expensive. The difference is not luck, it's planning. Remember, 35.4 million NRIs are dreaming of coming back home. But the ones who retire rich are the ones who plan before the plane lands. If you are an NRI or know someone who is, share this video because this one decision affects an entire lifetime. And if you want more deep dive content on NRI money, taxes and return planning, ask your questions in the comment. I read and respond to every single comment. That's it from me. I'm Nikhil and subscribe to learn how to make your finances less tricky with FinNiki.